Hello there, Ron here, and I'm sitting beside Andrew Slag.
Hello, everybody.
He and I just finished a wholesaling course for beginners, and as soon as he gets it packaged up, we're going to let you guys take a shot at getting it, because it is really a cool course, especially if you haven't done your first deal yet and you're looking to do that first wholesale. It's all about wholesaling houses, which he is very good at. In fact, you've been around 7-8 years now.
Yes.
Okay, still a millennial.
Still a millennial.
And
Still young.
And you're doing 3-4 deals a month.
At least.
And wholesaling some, keeping some, pretty houses, ugly houses, pretty much the whole ball of wax.
Yes, sir.
And you're also a mentor. In case you don't know, he's one of our mentors, and he worked with students on a regular basis and one-on-one, and we get a lot of rave reviews on him. So anyway, we were here today and we were filming. I said, well, heck, you're here. We're going to put you to work. So you're going to
My pleasure.
You're going to read the questions today. And I'm going to try to answer them. If I don't know how to answer, I'm going to let you answer them.
All right. We got Andrew, excuse me, Andrew Kuntz in Missouri. Hi, Ron. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, and I had a couple questions about lawsuits and taxes in regards to the NROD, non-refundable option deposit. If I buy a house from a seller with owner financing,
yes,
and then lease option it to a tenant buyer, what happens if the seller files bankruptcy?
Well, if you own the house, that bankruptcy should not affect you much, but they will name the underlying loan. But if they've already sold the house, then unless there's a whole lot of money that the bankruptcy court thinks they can get, and they wouldn't have any reason to think that because the house is already sold, then it won't be an issue. This is something you address with your attorney if and when that ever happens, and he will work with the trustee and work it out. But you're really not in any jeopardy if they've already sold the house to you. If you've given them any money, the bankruptcy court will just go after them to try to get the money. They're not coming after you.
Can the tenant buyer sue me for the option deposit because I can't deliver title?
Well, you can deliver title, because here's what's going to happen. If in fact your tenant buyer wants to buy the house and cash you out while it's in bankruptcy, tell your attorney to go to the trustee and try to get it removed from the bankruptcy court because it's about to be paid off. And in fact, that's the mission of any bankruptcy court, and that's get the creditors paid. Well, one of them is about to be paid, so they have no reason to keep this thing in bankruptcy and should release it. And if there's any money coming out again, it'll go to the trustee, it won't go to the seller.
And lastly, he asked, could I use this as an example with my CPA as a reason for not taxing the NROD in the year that I received it?
NROD is non-refundable option deposit. I think you're going to have a hard time getting that approved by your CPA, because the truth is you get to keep the money whether they buy or not. Yes, it's a deposit, but the fact that it's a non-refundable deposit means that they're probably going to want to call it income received in this year.
Very good. And we got Katrina Jonah from Nevada. I'm a broker sales agent. In order to advertise with my name and phone number, I have to put for lease by owner agent in any ad.
You have to put in the ad that you are an agent. I certainly wouldn't use lease by owner agent. I'd just put at the bottom LICRE agent in fine print at the bottom of the ad.
Very good. The state requires that you have an ownership interest in the advertised property. Does the signed option agreement with me give me the ownership interest
if you
that
have
the
an
state
agreement
requires?
to buy it, or if you have agreement to option it, you have an equitable interest in the property and you have every right to sell the property.
Very good. Jermaine Artis from North Carolina. Can I create a land trust when wholesaling, even though I will not be purchasing the property?
No, Jermaine, you can't, because you're not taking title to the property. You can't, and there's no need to create a land trust. The land trust only exists when the deed to the property goes into the land trust. That's when it's funded, and that's when it's open. So there is a land trust, and wholesaling have nothing to do with each other, nor do they do on lease options. You have to actually take title in order to form a land trust.
The rest of this question, I about got a headache. I'm thinking this would be useful if a seller tried to sue for specific performance.
Seller cannot sue for specific performance. That's no longer in any contract anywhere in the country. The only remedy for the seller's default is your deposit.
Since only the trust name would appear. Okay, you already answered that.
Yeah.
So, Douglas from Georgia, on your
Not Douglas, Georgia, just Douglas from
Douglas from Georgia.
Okay.
And I don't know how to say his last name. Hodo, I guess. On your What is Seller Financing lesson on the Gold Club, you go over the basics of a seller financing deal. At what point do you verify the $200,000 ARV of the house in question to ensure you are not paying too much?
Well, I'd verify that during the negotiating process to begin with, maybe even before I ever even talk to the seller. That's going dreams. If you got our dream system, that takes you approximately 2 minutes to verify the ARV. You just pull up the address and punch in a couple of properties that are very similar to ours, and it'll tell you what the ARV is right above that. Does the computing for you.
It does.
Okay.
Makes it easy.
That's all.
That's it.
That's all the questions. That's all you guys got this week. You're slacking on me. You better get more questions than that in here. All right. Well, with that said, we will see you next week, same time, same channel. Go get some deals going.
Bye for now.